Hello, everyone. Let's identify together the structures on the cerebellum blank figure. Earlier, we mentioned that the cerebellum is located posteriorly, whereas the pons is located anteriorly. This right here is the arbor vitae, and this right here is the fourth ventricle anterior to the cerebellum, and we can see the choroid plexus in the fourth ventricle. Moving to the cerebellum itself, this right here is the anterior lobe, whereas this is the posterior lobe. This right here is the vermis. This is the primary fissure, and this is the horizontal fissure. Right here we can see the anterior lobe, and this is the posterior lobe. This right here is the vermis. This is a cross section in the cerebellum. We can see the midbrain anteriorly. This right here is the vermis, which connects both sides of the cerebellum. This is the cerebellar cortex. This is the white matter of the cerebellum, the arbor vitae. And this right here is the deep cerebellar nuclei. If we compare the cerebellum with the cerebrum, both they have a cortex. The cerebrum as well, it consists of lobes. We talked about the frontal, the parietal, the temporal, and the occipital lobe in the cerebrum. Here we mentioned the anterior and the posterior lobe. In the cerebrum, we talked about the longitudinal fissure and the transverse fissure. Whereas in the cerebellum, we talked about the primary fissure and the horizontal fissure. In the cerebrum, we mentioned the corpus callosum, whereas in the cerebellum, we mentioned the vermis. Some confuse the deep cerebellar nuclei, which is darker in color comparing to the arbor vitae, which is lighter in color because it is rich in the myelinated axons. These in red are the blood vessels. Also, we mentioned earlier that the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata, they all form the brain stem. This right here, we can see a Purkinje cells right here. This is the white matter, and this is the cerebellar cortex. I hope you found the video helpful. Check out my next video on the meninges of the brain.